everyone, Karen the Warp Spinster here. Welcome to my channel, and I am grateful that you're spending some time with me today. Going to do something a little bit different. As always, I have a picture in my head, which does not mean it's going to translate into reality anywhere near how it looks in my head, but we're all about play and fun here, so we're going to give it a try. And this came out of, I don't know, a sketch I did in my quilting sketchbook for The Princess and the Pea. And you're probably familiar with it, but in case you aren't, it's a fairy tale of sorts that is about a king who is it the king or a prince? And I think it's the king who is looking for a woman who is going to be sensitive enough, not quite sure the word he uses, for his son to marry. And so the test is whether she can feel when there is a pea under the mattress, a PEA. This is awkward, under the mattress. So that's what I'm thinking about today. And it always makes me think of Once Upon a Mattress, which is a musical that was made based on The Princess and the Pea. And I saw the Carol Burnett version, and when she breaks out into I'm Shy, it cracks me up every time. All right, so here's the plan. I'm going to do a black base, and then eventually there will be the circle that will be the pea, but I want it to appear to be pushing the mattress up. That's the basis for it. It's not going to look like that in the end, but that's the idea that it's coming from. So what I plan to do is to do concentric curves. It'll probably be, the first one will be a large curve, gentle, but still a large curve. And then one inside of that, and probably one more inside of that, and then the circle there for the pea. So we'll see how that goes. And I have a variety of solids, and I've got a piece of a print here. I know some of you folks prefer prints. And then I have some black and white prints, a couple of dotty prints. And I know it's a little frightening, but I don't have a black and white stripe here. We'll see. I may be able to work that in somewhere. So my first step is going to be to take a length of this black. I don't know why I choose black, because you can see every little bit of lint on camera, but you'll forgive me, right? And decide and do the first curve. Now, I have to think about what I want to be the circle, what this first layer, I guess, is going to be. And I'll need something that's got a fair amount of fabric, because, oh, look at that. I wonder if I could just do it this way. Nope, that's the opposite of what I need. My special relationship problems are coming to the fore. And I'm going to press this, and then we'll cut that curve. And when I cut the curve, I'm going to have these on top of each other so that the curve that I cut matches. And I don't know, maybe something like that. Ideally, I would like it smaller, but that will be a pretty hefty curve. And, you know, I could do it, but let's start with a little bit larger one here, because I'm going to be doing two more inside it. It needs to be reasonably large, and I want to leave some at the end. And of course, knowing that since I am not figuring seam allowances in these curves, it means things are going to start changing size, shall we say. So I need to take that into account. Okay, so I'm going to press this and cut that curve. Here's my first curve. I've got that extra piece in the back I will be taking out, but I went to mark where these are. right, I've actually done 2 curves here. We've done curves enough on these videos that I don't think there would be any surprises to you there. I just do needle down, convex on top, go slowly, stop when I need to, and shift, and I'm just gently lifting the piece over to match the edges. Now the second one, I had to go get a larger piece because the strip was going to be too narrow. So I went down to my stash, and I wanted it to be completely contained within this one. So I didn't want it coming like that. As I'm doing that, I'm wondering if this last one I do, if I don't want it to kind of cut into that one a little bit. I don't know. I mean, I could do it fully nested in here and then the circle would go there. I think it might be kind of, maybe over on this side, kind of more interesting if I cut across that. So let's see what happens when I do that. I will come back when I'm ready to cut that in. All right, now I don't want to cut into the black, but I do want to get into the blue there a bit. And over into the polka dot. I have no idea how this is going to go. We'll just give it a try. And this is awkward to do while I'm trying to not knock the camera. And I'm keeping my hand well out of the way. It's okay. And that's kind of a funky curve, and I'm all right with that. So, finish this off, pardon my elbow. Pretty sure I didn't, oh, it didn't all get cut, cool. So now that's going to go a little bit over into the blue, which I think will be a little more interesting. And I will mark the end so that when I flip it over, I know where to match that edge. These pieces come out. Could be interesting somewhere else, maybe. Maybe not. And let me go cut this curve, and we'll come back and ponder where we go from here. Now, remembering that my edge is actually going to be something like this. Maybe I need to cut that a little deeper. What do you think? Got a little bit of leeway there. I think we could do it. I think I might want to do that. I'll just have those match right there. Okay. So now, really sorry about my elbow, and I don't know why I think you need to watch me cut a curve. But now it's done. All right, so I will sew that curve and then come back and assess the situation. Here's our third curve. Now, if I want to straighten this, I don't have to do it precisely straight, but it would cut along here somewhere, which brings me to where that meets. I'm going to do that. It's going to be difficult for me to do without knocking the camera, so I will do that and come back. And I'm going to leave most of this here, and I'll talk about why momentarily. So now I want to put the P here, which should be pushing up against the mattress. I think this is not going to have enough contrast, so I am headed out to look for another piece. But in the meantime, let me talk about what else I'm thinking. I want to leave some length across here because I think I'd like to do another one over here, but going this direction. And have this be a long stack, like mattresses stacked on top. Oh, that was the thing. I guess I didn't say that. In The Princess and the Pea, there are lots of mattresses stacked. And the pea is under the bottommost mattress. And can she feel that lump? So I want to do another one up here. It is probably would be a good idea if I had made this wider, because as I start doing this same thing over here, then I'm going to lose part of the black background. But I could do that as a separate piece until I do the next one, when I will have learned that's what I want to do. So I could just cut it here, do another one of these, and then seam it there. But the other thing I think I would like to do is to do one similar to this and stitch it down here, and then have the pea in the middle of that, because it would be pushing down on the mattress underneath it too. If it's the bottom mattress on the stack, then I could just potentially cut off the pea there, because it would be squashed into the base of the bed or something. I don't know, probably getting too literal here. But I want to do another one of these, stitch it down here, and then put the circle in the middle of that. So I think I will proceed with that and use, I don't know, do I want to use the same colors? I'm thinking probably not. This looks a little awkward here because there's just the tiniest bit of a white dot showing through there. I might go in with a permanent marker and make that completely black, because it will probably bug me. All right, so my plan is to do a similar thing. I may not do this overlap down here, just have them nested, so that we can put it down here. I do have this pink that I think I'd like to use, and I might do all solids, not have the black and white in this one. And then maybe do the blue just to pull it together a little bit. We'll see, but that's my plan. In the meantime, y'all can be thinking about different ways this could be done, different fabric combinations, different sort of layouts for how you would do one piece against another, and be thinking about that. And I look forward to reading your suggestions and your comments in the comments section. So I have my second set of mattress wonkiness, and actually this is on a bit of a slant rather than straight. That does not bother me, because this one's a little bit of a slant too. Now I have choices about being able to slide this from one side to another, and we'll probably kind of lose the concept of the pea distorting the mattresses, but then, you know, we sort of are being a little bit cavalier about that. And I found a place to put a black and white stripe. Aren't you proud? So there's a possibility. Could also, of course, use a bold print here, which I meant to cut. See, this I think is just not, bleh, there's not enough contrast there. So I will see if I can find a print maybe that could fit in there. Now, I'm expecting y'all to tell me what this looks like to you, because nobody's going to say, oh yeah, that's the Princess and the Pea. It may look like a fish, it may look like an eye, but I'm expecting you'll let me know what you think. And you always do it in a kind fashion, so, well, that looks like a bird there, you know, put a little beak there. It's one of my favorite things about doing some of these, is that you can, everybody finds something different in it. And I like that. All right, I'm going to, first of all, oh no, because I haven't decided how I want this to fit, but let me find a print for a circle. These prints just don't have the impact that this has. And it may be that for a certain look or kind of quilt, that's what you want, something more subtle. But I'm looking for something bold. So I'm thinking that is going to be it. And if we aren't worrying too much about the Princess and the Pea business, then we could have this overlap anywhere. Although I do kind of like it. The size will probably have to change as I do these seams because I'll lose a lot of that pink. But I'm thinking that's what I want to do. And for a while I thought, boy, maybe I shouldn't have done this black and white print, but I actually like that as well. Of course, this can be slid anywhere. Fish or bird, isn't it? If I had this up here, it would be a bird with a very big eye. The only problem with doing all that fun visualization is then I can't unsee it. And I'd rather see it as kind of an abstract-y thing. If I pull that so it's a little more even with each other, I think I don't like it as well. I like having it offset thusly. Okay, I think that's it for now. I do want to show you a photo of my It Bears Repeating quilt. You saw me working on this last week, starting to put it together, and now I have all the pieces together, and it's a matter of deciding how much white space or negative space I want around it as a sort of a border, but so that it floats there. And then I am thinking that I want a striped binding. We'll see how it looks. Carl on Instagram, who does gorgeous quilts, by the way. Look for Quilt Carl on Instagram. He does beautiful modern stuff. Thought that maybe facing instead of binding, and it works great on so many of his quilts. Not sure that's what I want for this one, but I think a black and white stripe binding. I'll see. Once I get it all quilted, then I'll be better able to determine what I want done there. So I guess it's a little short this week. I got 3 shots yesterday and my arms are a little on the sore side, so it's a little short this week, but I like what we came up with. Colors could change across the quilt, or you could leave it in roughly these colors, which would, you know, pull it all together, or you could make it more scrappy. Of course, you could use prints here instead of solids, because I know that's what many of you would like to do. So say you could have Cafe or Tula Pink or something for these pieces. Another thing you could do would be to just do a really thin strip of black or white or something in between here. So lots of choices. Oh, would we want to put something in between this? Ooh, hang on. For you printaholics there, I'm just thinking about putting a print stripe in between it and probably pull it all the way across the piece. Or if we did, say, a stripe in between, and then how would it work with, still not going to work. And if I have a black and white stripe dot, I don't know that I want that in between. But that's another option, is to find something to put in between. You could even, I guess, do a black strip in between. Let's try that. Surely I have one somewhere. And we'll fake it with this. And anywhere close to a stripe, but needs must, right? Okay, then say we slide this down. Well, that gives it kind of a different look. I don't hate it if we did a very narrow one. And it wouldn't even have to be a straight line. It could be kind of a wedge shape. Which might be kind of cool too. All right, options. Let me know what you think. Let me hear your ideas. Next week, I don't know. Maybe we'll explore this a little more. Maybe we'll do something different while I explore it off screen. Not sure yet, but I hope I will see you next week. In the meantime, be well, be safe, be happy, be quilting. Peace out.